Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm your host, Ian McCullough. Or am I? Well, anyway, today guys, we're going to take a look at a SIG SG542. Now, as you saw in one of Ian McCullough's recent videos, you'll notice that he did a review on a SIG SG543. Now, that is the 5.56 version of this rifle. This is the 7.62 Nato version. Beautiful rifle, once again, just like his. These were built by Troy S. at TTE Precision Metalwerks. So huge shout out to him and a thank you to him for restoring this beautiful rifle to its former glory. Now, of course, these were built most recently off of SIG SG542 kits as well as SG543 kits, and of course have been made fully functional into semi-automatic only. Of course, features a 20-round mag. So we're going to do some first shots today. We're going to see how it works. Hopefully it works quite well. I have a 20-round mag loaded here, and we're going to try this out on this closed safe range just for the YouTube moderators, and we're going to see how it works. So without further ado, quite frankly, I think it works pretty nice. It does have a bit of a kick to it, primarily because it has a very light stock, but it has a nice, supple rubber recoil pad to help with that. Now, as you guys can probably hear in the distance, I hope you can hear it anyway, I am shooting at a steel plate in the pasture here. So I'm going to turn the camera around right now and let you guys see some hits on this steel plate. So stand by. Everybody, welcome back again today. Now, I have got something absolutely phenomenal to show off to you guys today. Now, if you guys have seen Ian McCullough's video recently on his SIG 543 that he had, the good folks, one particular, Mr. S, Troy, that would be, Troy S, over at TTE Precision Metalwerks, he put him together a beautiful SIG 543. Now, if you guys go back and reference my video on the SIG 542 kits that I got, you guys will notice that those kits come in and some were good, some were bad. I was fortunate enough when I got two of those from Centerfire. Absolutely gorgeous kits, in great shape. Bore conditions were great. Plastic was good. I think one of my grips might have had some issues with it, but other than that, you know, looked great. Certainly buildable. And I remember when I bought it at the time, I was thinking, well, you know, who am I going to get to restore this thing? And I was doing some digging out on the forums and found out about TTE Precision Metalwerks, and kudos to them. I just got this in from them, by the way, and what you're going to find inside of here are two fully restored SIG 542s. Now, in order to be able to manufacture those things and, you know, restore them, things of that nature, one has to stick to 922R compliance as a manufacturer. Unfortunately, so good folks over at TTE Precision Metalwerks, some of the things they did in order to make these compliant was to develop their own U.S.-made semi-automatic sear, their own U.S.-made hammer, their own U.S.-made gas piston, handguards, grips, as well as floor plates and followers for the mags, you know, all that fun stuff. And what's really cool, and I'll show pictures up here in the top left, what's really cool is how they go through and they came up with different colors. So they had tan, they had, or FDE, they had, in the beginning they had two different colors of green, like an OD green, and then also black, if you wanted to do one in black. But of course these come with green stock, so you're left with having to make your stock black some way or another. Now that being said, those were 3D printed, and what's really cool, those plastic parts, they use a fiber-filled plastic, and Troy told me that those are very durable and very heat resistant and have a bit of a pebble grain finish, which not pebble grain as in East German stocks, but still nice nonetheless. So I got all that shipped off to him. Now, to be perfectly honest, guys, I don't know if he only did 100 of each. I do not know that, but I do know you can buy everything you need to restore these. Basically, you can acquire everything you need. And I've seen here recently, even AK John is going to, I think, put one of those together for a customer. But that being said, let's dive off into this today. It was certainly well worth the wait. When I picked this up at the shop, I noticed that the finish was absolutely phenomenal, and the tags were marked perfect for whatever reason. I'm assuming because Troy took his time and effort to make these things look gorgeous, and I'm telling you guys, it was well worth the wait, and they are indeed gorgeous. So let me set some things down, then we're going to get into this. Alright guys, so this is how the box came. You'll notice there is a 16 and 17 up here. So I'm guessing mine was 16 and 17 in the queue, but let's see what we got. What's nice is he included manuals. Let's get these rifles out of here, and then let's get this box off this table because it is taking up a tremendous amount of room, and quite frankly I can't do anything with it on the table. So let's get that out of here as I hit my lighting and nearly knock it over. Alright, let's do a little bit of readjusting here. So, these, boys and girls, are the, as Ian pronounced it, the Mandarin SIG 542s, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Now, one of the cool things that Troy did to make these compliant was these cool, same glass-filled polymer, or I think it's glass-filled polymer, I think that's what I said at the beginning. 3D printed followers as well as floor plates. Yes, I have something covered up here, but you guys will notice, I don't know how well you can see it, I'll have to insert a picture, SIG 542, Cal 308, USA. There's something else underneath here, but I can't show it. Thank you, YouTube. But anyway, I got 2 of those mags, one shipped with each. I shipped them actually the original mags. They replaced the parts in them so that these would be compliant when they shipped out. Now, the manual. Alright, so let's take a look at one of these manuals. Now, the problem is, the originals are in a language that most of us cannot understand, unfortunately. However, this is a translated manual. He did include these with it, and what's really nice, not all of it worked with Google Translate that well, but it's good enough to where you can actually figure out, you know, how to operate these rifles. You know, safety procedures, precautions, things of that nature, all the specs, all the ways to take it down, to service it, you know, all that cool stuff, which is great in my opinion, and, you know, definitely helps to have one of these. So I'm going to set this aside. Thank you, Troy, for sending those. I didn't actually expect that to come, but, so, now, let's take a look at these 2 rifles. I am going to go ahead and get the plastic, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and get the plastic off of this one, so bear with me while I get this peeled off so that you guys can see what this handguard really looks like. This is exactly how they shipped. I have not shot them yet. I have not done anything with them. And quite frankly, I think the furniture turned out really good, especially for 3D printed, and for something that's going to be durable and all that fun stuff. Let me pause this real quick while I get this stuff off here. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that boringness. Alright guys, we're back. I was able to get all that plastic off, and like I was telling you, you can really see this has a little bit of a textured finish, but quite honestly, it's not bad. I kind of like it because it gives you a little bit better area to grip to, but I do believe they are a faithful reproduction of the originals. They look pretty stinking nice. Now, they're not perfect, but they'll definitely suffice from a 922R perspective. Now, you guys will notice, I'll put pictures in the top left, has the SIG or SG542S, the Mandarin logo, as well as the replicated serial number. Now, I do like this green over the original green because the original green doesn't match the buttstock really well for whatever reason. If you guys don't believe me, as I break my grip, you guys don't believe me, take a look at that grip and the colors there. It's close, but not quite. Now, I think they did an excellent job with the color marking to make these look as close as possible, but these rifles are gorgeous. Of course, you see their manufacturer's marking on top. I did have to cover up a specific area of it, but I'll show a picture of that in the top left. You see TTE Precision Metalwerks, Lebanon, Minnesota, model SG542S for semi, cal 308. But these things are beautiful. I mean, I have no complaints. No complaints on the finish. No complaints on the build. Now, like I said, you know, they have the 922R compliant parts in the mag, and this mag is a rock and lock style. I cannot show you on camera. Thank you, YouTube. But one of the cool things about this rifle is it has a last round bolt hold open, and it is a real last round bolt hold open, i.e. when you remove that mag, it stays held open. So that's pretty cool. I do like that feature. But guys, this action is just incredibly smooth. Now, my only complaint about this type of rifle is the fact that the the triggers are kind of squishy, but from what I understand, you can adjust them. Once you take this grip off, you can actually adjust these. Of course, one of the other nice things, you have this generous rubber butt pad for that 308 caliber. Of course, you got your side sling swivel there, side sling swivel or sling loop there, and side sling loop up here. And I mean, this thing just, I mean, this is an absolutely gorgeous rifle. I mean, Troy, you have outdone yourself. This thing is gorgeous. I mean, it really is in every aspect. Now, I'm hoping to get this out and do some shooting, maybe show you guys how that works. But one of the neatest things about this is such a weird design in that it kind of borrows not only from the AK world, but also from the HK world. And I think Ian goes into a little bit more detail in his video. You guys go back and reference that, where he talks about that. But the action is just incredibly smooth. Now, I've not shot this yet. I will shoot it, and we're going to find out how it kicks and things of that nature. But guys, if you have one of these, reach out to Troy. TTE Precision are the only folks that I know that are making these possible. And I have zero complaints. I mean, as he put on my tags here, as you guys can see, number 16 and 17, he wrote perfect. Yeah, they're nice. I probably need to oil this just a little bit on that top receiver, but where I've been handling it. But man, these things are so nice. He did such a beautiful restoration job on this. Of course, I can't tell you any more details. You guys are smart. You can go out and figure those out on your own. You can also contact him. But, you know, the cool thing about this is the fact that, you know, it really does and really does kind of look like a HK91. Kind of like with a M14 mag. I mean, there's just so many weird design aspects of this. And the cool thing is you've got an adjustable gas system, just like you do on the 5.43s. You know, that's pretty neat. Now, I don't profess to know a lot about these. Like, I don't know about this muzzle device, what all you can do with that. Just because I've really not had the time to look it all up. But I am super happy about this. And Troy, man, you guys do amazing work. I would love to have you guys restore an STG, I think it's a PE57. That would be cool. Maybe one day. They're a little bit out of my price range, but these are phenomenal. And like I said, guys, I do believe they only got about 1,000 of these in the country in terms of the kits, and they came straight from Lebanon. Of course, you see that Lebanese crest. I'll put a picture up here in the top left for you guys to see that. And, you know, they came in same time that those Lebanese FALs came in, same time that, you know, some of those weird AK kits came in. And it was a very unique opportunity because prior to that, very few of these Manurins had been imported into America. So I am super, super happy to get one of these. Oh, by the way, I do believe Troy is working on making the making a pick rail scope mount for these. I don't know how much those would, how much they're planning on producing. I don't really know any other details other than that. I'll have to get back with him on that, but that would be nice to have, especially for those of us that have not the best eyes. So, but anyway, I mean, this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't be happier, and big shout out to those guys, and big thank you to them for making this even possible. Especially for those of us that love, the world of surplus historical firearms. Now, one thing I didn't mention about this, guys, is they even replicated the grips down to the point where they got the covers for the grips, where you can put like a, you can probably throw like a small little oil bottle in there or something, much like the originals, which is pretty cool. I think my other one is actually busted on the bottom, but I've got these, and it's not going to hurt to run this furniture on here for sure. But just wanted to share this with you guys today. If you guys had Troy restore one of these for you, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what your experience was. I am just over the moon about this. These are beautiful, and they did such a wonderful job on the resto. I just couldn't be happier. So, like I said, guys, let me know your experience. I do believe you can probably still find some of the 5.42 folding kits out there. There might be a few floating around. You can certainly still get these mags. Of course, they're very expensive. They're about $50 a piece if you can find them. No YouTube, I'm not saying where, but that's typically what they run on the open market. Anyway, just wanted to share this with you guys today. And, big shout out to my subscribers. Thank you guys for bearing with me. As always, thank you guys in advance for all your likes, your shares, your comments. Until next time, you guys have a great day.